Hey! Hey! Stop scratching. Stop scratching. Stop scratching. What's up, VC? My cat. I was like Carlson here. My cat's acting up. Seeking a thread, celebrating my 1 year in the VC. My first video was November 13th, 2020, so I'm a little bit past that, but I wanted to do this. I was thinking about doing this sort of anointing 1 year in the VC and sort of presenting all that I'm thankful for learning and all the people I've met who I'm really thankful for meeting. New friends. I mean, it's been amazing in that way. I'm home on a typical Wednesday where I should be practicing with the band Material Objects, but we had canceled today. So Wednesday afternoon, not at the record store, home alone. Great. It never happens. Thought I'd do this. I have coffee, which is I'm thankful for. Thanksgiving is of course coming up, so more to come in terms of that. And yeah, so I wanted to present some channels that I'm thankful for. This is not in any way all of them. These are just the ones that I picked out, records that I sort of wanted to talk about. And there's tons of other channels that I probably won't mention that are super important. And that I watch every single video they post. So there's a lot of you out there. I really enjoyed contributing to this. So, and learning is the big thing. Being thankful and learning. What am I listening to? This one has nothing to do with anything. It's just one I felt like playing today. Julius Eastman, Crazy N-word. An archival release out of Buffalo, Julius Eastman. He died very young at the age of 49, but you know, out of Buffalo with a local interest here. These performances are live. Yeah, these are recorded 1980. Let's see, I won't go into it too far, but I just wanted to play this. Thought it'd be nice. So a little bit ominous, a little intense, but let's go with it. Yeah, maybe some people have talked about this when it came out. I've had this for a little while. Only got to play it like once, so I'm playing again. I love the Bloom label. But anyway, it's a beautiful piece of music. Julius Eastman. There's two different versions of this. Gay Gorilla, I think, is the other one. In any case, all purple. Purple vinyl. Spinning over there. So let's get into this. Thanks 1 year in the VC. I'm going to thank a bunch of you and show some records that are here in this house because of you out there. You're directly responsible, which I know happens to everyone. So, pull up a chair. All right. Michael Muller of Balmoral, noted in archive. He's no longer making videos, but we still talk and still in touch. I just love Michael. Great channel. He's a great musician. He's got great taste. We come from a lot of the same music, so we bonded over that with our discussion that we had on the YouTube channel. On his YouTube channel, you can see that. And he turned me on to this. Now this is funny. This is Steven. I had no idea who Steven was, and I'm such a Flying Nun and Kilgore fan. Kilgore. Michael was saying it's brothers Hamish and David Kilgore. I'm like, isn't it Kilgour? I think you're right, Michael. I think you're right. Kilgore. This is Steven. They're David Kilgore's band from 1990. He talked about this in the beginning of that conversation we had. I'd never even heard of this band. I didn't know. It's right after the first actual clean LP comes out. And it's Radar of Small Dogs. He talked about how it was being reissued and that it was already gone. And this is the repress. And I know we both just got this finally. And it's great. It's right in the spirit of the clean and sort of the late 80s Flying Nun jangly, I wouldn't call it post-punk anymore. Much more on the jangly, hooky side of things. But it's excellent. It's got that New Zealand thing. So much, yeah, Michael, great channel, and thank you. Thank you. I'm showing 1 to 2 records from most people. I got 2 here for Psychederek, one of the early channels. Well, more recent. I know he's been making videos for a good deal of years now, Derek. And the original videos I started watching were Fred, Big Star 1000, and Derek Higgins. 2 are channels that I've talked about so much that I actually don't have records from them today. I should. So my apologies, guys. But Derek was the one that I started watching in the last year or 2 that I actually started feeling, you know what, maybe I have something to contribute. This he discovered, and Derek found an original copy of this, and soon after Drag City reissued it. Bill Stone, Stone is the title. This is absolutely one of the best, to my ears, that I've heard. Loner, psych folk records there. It's out of Maine, 1970. The track Charlottetown is something special, as well as all of it. It's mainly sort of a solo vibe, but he's got other guitarists and other contributors on it. Privately released, privately recorded, reissued by Drag City and the Galactic Zoo Disc label, which is Steve Krakow. And thank you to Alex Kerner. Derek totally turned me on to that when he found the record. I looked for an original too, but I didn't find one, but I got the reissue. Another reissue that he specifically turned me on to this one too. I had never heard of this. It is Frigate, Dreams of the Deep. I like this so much. Now this is sort of, Derek compared it to Funkadelic a bit. I think that's true. It has that feel to it. Also Circuit Rider. It has a very unhinged, freewheeling, free rock, sort of disjointed, discombobulated. It feels just totally detached from everything. I wouldn't call it experimental necessarily, but it's not a typical psych record. That's where I'd probably put it, and that's a lot of what Derek is focused on, and that's a lot of what I love too. But that's where I would put it. However, this is good for all you people out there who sort of hear psych and sort of groan a bit. This is not like any of that. It's from 1977, originally on a tax scam label, which I don't have in front of me. I'll put a comment below. It was reissued through I always forget the name of this label. I bought it through a Bandcamp page, which I'm pretty sure that Derek did as well. Oh god, I always forget the name of this label. Silk Breeze. Silk Breeze, great label. It was reissued through them, their Bandcamp, so I don't know if they were just doing this solid for someone, but I think these reissues are still available. I liked it so much that I bought 3 copies and gave the other 2 to George, the owner of Angry Mom, and Adam, my friend that works there. And they loved it too. George was familiar with it, but totally missed that it was getting reissued. So, and Chris Cole, who I'll talk about later, also recommended this after I'd already gotten it. I was like, yes, good idea, great. It's reissued by the DQ. I mean, whoever that is. Really no frills reissue because it was a tax scam, and there really is no information on this. Good luck finding information. And the original label. There are a few releases on that, but they're all super rare and mostly destroyed, as tax scam records were. Right, so that is Psychederek, great channel. I'm going to put links to all of the channels, by the way, in case you don't know them. Another highly influential channel, and someone I'm in touch with all the time. Motor 247, Alex, out in California. There's a lot of records I wrote down that I've gotten as a direct result of Alex talking about them, showing them, whether it was on Instagram or his YouTube channel. And one of the things that I started really diving into this year was the ECM label over the last year and a half. Previous to that, I sort of, not that I didn't know anything about ECM, but I just cast it aside a lot of the time. I just started focusing on other things. Not so much that I didn't want to give it any attention, I was just not looking to focus on it. Well, a lot of the channels I'm going to talk about all have talked about ECM in some respect. And one of the records that Alex showed, was it an ECM video? I think it was this one, A Freak Pepper Bird, with Jan Garber, the Jan Garber Quartet with Arnold Anderson, Terje Rytdal, Jan Christensen. Fantastic, free, but not overwhelmingly avant-garde or anything. Free jazz record from 1972, I think it is. It's 1970, actually. This is the German press. I won't be playing any samples of this. This was back in June. Angry Mom Records acquired a very on consignment. Took what's the Britney Spears thing? Controlling sort of hold on a collection that we ended up selling on consignment, and this was one of the records I chose to, I think it was part of that collection. It was one of the records I chose to pull out and make an offer on, and I was able to get it. And I love it. I actually was playing it in the store, deciding, and a few customers, including one local musician, Keir Neuringer, who's in the Irreversible Entanglements. Keir, I remember him like, "Oh, what's this record?" And I'm like, "Not for sale." That happens a lot. It happens more than it should. Be careful. If you're playing records in a shop and you work there, you might have to duke it out with a customer. And sometimes you gotta let the customers win. It's kind of not cool all the time to play records that aren't available for people. So this one, I didn't let go. Alex, thank you for showing it. And this one was the biggest one to me. I was familiar with this musician, but I didn't know this record. And these series, the Blue Note projects and the John Coltrane Memorial Project that Alex started, have been great. I've been learning a lot from those videos, and this is the one he focused on. By Lancaster, It's Not Up to Us, 1969 on the Vortex label, which is a subsidiary of Atlantic, one of the many subsidiaries of Atlantic. Of course, in 2021, most records, including jazz records, have become not rare, just ridiculous. Every single record, I'm gonna bring this back. Every single record is like either asking for or selling for significantly higher than it's ever sold for coffee. And this is one, so I didn't pay for a copy on Discogs. I decided to wait. And there was an auction for one. I think it was from like Funk You Sound, so it didn't go cheap, but it looked like it was gonna go cheap, but I ended up getting it for about the asking price. And it's a nice, super great copy. I didn't get a bargain or anything, but I didn't overpay for it either. It's just got restraint. It's not completely unhinged. The great, we should talk about who's playing on it. Bayard playing alto. We have, Sonny Chiroc's on this, another one I just go gaga for. The drumming, Eric Gravatt, amazing. And Kenny Spieler, I think it is. I don't know that drummer. Sonny Chirok by Lancaster. And Jerome Hunter. That's it. I can barely read in the light here. Incredible record. Thank you, Alex. So those two. And there are others I wrote down that I bought as a result of Alex's influence. So thank you. Localbandography, Dave. I know Steve Carlson. I always watch Steve Carlson. He likes to talk about how Dave likes to spend his money, Steve's money, and Dave. I can sometimes resist the urge to not do that, but Dave is always showing. The thing about Dave is he has such a wide taste in things, and as do I. I mean, he's buying all kinds of stuff, so that's where I get into trouble in finding things. When I start jumping around. But anyway, yeah. Dave, Localbandography, did a great entry in the Blue Note project. Is it would have been the 4000 series project on Joe Henderson's Inner Urge. Another record that I know it's not the VC if someone's showing me a Joe Henderson record, but he did a great entry on that. So I'll link to that. I won't try to really talk this one up, but this is a classic mobile record from 1960. Again, I don't have the year in front of me. 67 and 9, somewhere in there. But on Blue Note, of course. And we have McCoy Tyner on piano, Crenshaw on bass, Alvin Jones drums. I mean, those are major players. So I'll link, I'm not going to try to describe this record like I said. Link to Dave. I ended up taking note of that video, and I was going back and forth with Dave, and I was like, damn, I got to find a copy of this. And I remember looking, there wasn't one single copy available either on eBay or Discogs. Nothing. No reissues, no, obviously no originals. Not even like weird, like early aughts, nothing. Not one copy. Not that much longer. This is one of these, which are now even, the Liberty pressings are tougher to get now, and these are tough going up in value. I think, I don't know if this has a Van Gelder stamp. Some of these do. Some of these solid blue, early 70s and white with the dark B or the white B do. This does not have a Van Gelder stamp, but some of them do. In any case, I was going back and forth with my friend Chris, who runs Hudson Valley Vinyl down in Beacon, New York, a great store. Check it out. He was like just telling me they got an excellent jazz collection, but a lot of like represses. And I was like, oh, happen to have a copy of Inner Urge? And he's like, yes. He's like, that's a definite thing that'll be in there. He wasn't even positive it was in there. He's just like, yeah, I know it's going to be in there, because he had seen some that he just can kind of tell that it was going to be there. And sure enough, it was. And he gave me a super sweet price, which is great. So I thank him. I thank you, Dave. Inner Urge, Joe Henderson. I have a couple from Dave only because, well, I'll just do. I don't know. This is one that isn't so much a. Well, I'll just say Dave was like, dude, you should get these. They found some stock copies, some dead stock of the Hal al-Shaddad records, which are out of print. Not going for a ton of money, but they were coming from Lunchbox, right, Dave? I think it was Lunchbox. Yeah, I think so. It's one of the little stores in Charlotte, and so I ordered them from Troubleman Unlimited originally. These are from the early 2000s, or is it even earlier than that? A great post-hardcore band. Dave compared them to sort of the East Coast Unwound. I can't disagree. So I grabbed these real quick, and it was nice that they were selling for the original $9.99 price. So that was kind of the cool thing about them, getting each one for $9.99. And the other one from Dave, Lungfish. He talked so much about these in the first, and he must have been on a Lungfish kick. And I was like, I've always been meaning to check out Lungfish, and I think he said. I think he named 2 records to check out, and I ended up just grabbing this on Sight Unheard, and I was glad to do it because I just wanted to hear something. I'm familiar with a lot of the this is on Discord. Got it for like very little because of that. But I'm familiar with a lot of Discord, but this band I only just known from the name and reputation, and I love this record. It's got that sort of spacious post-punk, but still aggressive sound. Sort of a good repetitive quality to it. Almost dub influenced. Daniel Higgs is the main proprietor. So Dave, thank you. Great going back and forth with you and all the hijinks and stuff. So. This is my 1-year anniversary video thanking the VC. Now I got a few more. I'm trying not to. I don't want to exclude people. I can almost do part 2. We'll talk about others, but here's another one we have to talk about. Very influential to me, and I know a lot of others. By the way, I've changed the music. I'll tell you what it is in a second because it relates to one of you folks. Stuntrock Confusion, Stunty, in Sweden. The man knows his stuff. Fun channel. Always. He really knows about just about everything. There's a lot of similar tastes that I have, and he's turning me on to things that I want to get into that are representing, music that is sort of like the way I see my collection going. And Stunty is a sweet dude. So one of the ones he talked about, and this was in the Folkways thread that I actually started, even though he's a great one to really sort of be the spearheader of that. And this is interesting because this record he showed in Folkways, and actually at first even became familiar with the Entourage Music Ensemble and Theater Ensemble from another member I will talk about in a second. Should have went the other way with this, but in any case, he showed this in in the Folkways thread, and this is just spectacular. The Entourage Music and Theater Ensemble, the Neptune Collection, is their second LP from '76 on the Folkways label. I just got this recently. Alex Motor 247 hit me to a seller who had a pretty good price on it, just because it's been just hasn't been popping up, and it's a nice copy. I don't have the other album, which I will talk about in a second, but Stunty talked about this being his favorite, and that this is fantastic. Now there's a sample on here that Fortet would use, or a track that Fortet would sample. I think it's Euphoric Bells or Druid Dance, one of the tracks on the first side, but 76 on Folkways. I've always sort of looked at Folkways, but not heavily. Like I would usually focus more on the blues stuff, or a little bit of the stranger stuff, some of the ethnic stuff, but not. I would miss this kind of thing. So thank you, Stunty. And one of the things I've been doing with Stunty is I've actually gone back and watched all of his back videos, because I've just been finding there's just tons of variety, unknowns, and things that I'm finding out that I love. And this next record was in an old video he did, and I think it was for Patrick the Vinyl Archivist's contest. I totally remember what the contest was, but he played this Michel Portal, Djambe solo, or I think it would just be Djambe solo, French free jazz saxophonist, and this is all solo, and this thing is super cool and a knockout. There's a part in the video where Stunty got really into this one sort of like super blasted out, almost like street band type of like baritone. I think he was playing baritone on that track. Portal plays alto sax, tenor sax, clarinet, bass clarinet, contrabass clarinet, tenora, soprano, sopranino, bandoneon, and percussions. The bandoneon is a woodwind I don't even know about, and I played the saxophone, so what the hell do I know? But in any case, this is from 1979. A French pressing on WIA, or French pressing on WIA subsidiary CY Records. Original pressing, not too expensive. He talked about it being kind of cheap, which it sort of is, but it's just because you have to get it somewhere else, not in the U.S. However, I did find one U.S. seller who had it, Byron Coley, so great. So yeah, this one, it totally knocked my socks off, and I would have had no idea about this. I've never seen this. I've never seen this in any record store I've been to that I can know of. So, Stunty, Stuntrock Confusion. Thank you. Talking about the Entourage collection, a channel that first even I saw the first album, the more psychedelic sort of yellow cover, almost like a fireball or a sun. I saw it on the floor in Sherv, Julius Jabbar's video, when he was going through his floor records one day. I actually asked him, what was that Folkways record or whatever, and he told me a little bit about it. And right there I added it to my want list, and that's where I still don't have that one, but through that one I sort of found out about the other one, which then Stone ended up showing, and I got. Anyway, sure, Julius Jabbar. I have a lot of your records that you've talked about on my want list. I haven't gotten to a lot of them, but I did go out specifically and grab one after watching your Blue Note project on Andrew Hill's Black Fire. So this is the Tome Poet. You talked about how at the end you're like, I think there's a Tome Poet, and sure enough, this was still in print and very affordable. I got this for just about list price or less. I haven't shown this yet. I got it sometime. I saw that Blue Note video like well after you released it, I think. In any case, I got it sometime in 2021. This is a 2019 release, but it's his first record as a band leader, which Sherv talks about. Again, I'm going to link to his video. I won't try to talk about this record, but it has Joe Henderson, Richard Davis, Roy Haynes, a quartet. Oh, that's a nice sound. I have opened this before, but it sounds like I haven't. With the Tome Poets, you get the Scapefold, which was not part of the original record. A stellar record. You know, it's certainly in that post-bop modal thing we all love. And yeah, it's like Sherv was talking about how the tight, like it definitely has sort of an off feel to it, like something askew in a good way. Like he's trying some things, like these track titles he talked about: Land of Nod, Pumpkin, Tired Trade. Land of Nod makes me think of heroin, but in any case, yeah, originally recorded 1963 by Van Gelder, of course. So I'll link to that video so that you can learn more about that big record and more about Sherv, hopefully. Sherv, I hope you're doing great. Thank you. So, a couple more. So, the music we're playing, and I have to talk about this next person. Linda Cohen, Lake of Light. I haven't even told Chris Cole that I got this yet. He recommended it to me because he knows this kind of thing I like. Plus, it's on Poppy, which I love the Poppy label. Townes Van Zandt, most famously on that label. This is Cheap Heat, man. There's two Linda Cohen records that are cheap, and I got the other one coming. Finally got it, Chris. So Chris Cole, we all know him, we love him. Just a special dude. Again, like Stunty, his knowledge is vast and deep, and he's talking about records that I just haven't even gotten to yet. You know, what he's interested in or what he's talking about represents a lot of things that I've always been curious about, or am now even more curious about. Not to say that I am not interested in the other things I have here, but it just represents sort of maybe the future path I want to take in collecting. So I have many records that Chris is, as you all know who are friends with Chris, you know, he recommends, he's very good about recommending things that are specific to what you like, and then is good about, hey, check out this auction, check out this is a good deal for this, or have you heard this, or check out this. So yeah, this is the first time I'm playing this Linda Cohen Lake of Fire, almost a Lake of Light. So I have two from Chris. Like I said, there's many I've bought, but I've shown this. But this Don Robertson on Limelight, a key record for me, sort of an early new age release, but avant-garde. Don Robertson, Limelight in the late 60s was going through and this is why I did know about this one, but I never heard it, and he sort of helped me get my Tasers back on a copy, which I was able to grab pretty much right away. White label promo of this one. The Ruth White record. Ruth. Yeah, I just got the names wrong. I think it's Ruth Brown or Ruth White. Now I'll correct myself. My brain is another composer / avant-garde artist that's coming out at the same time I'm still looking for. I think it's Ruth White. Anyway, this is a fantastic record. Equally tranquil, mind-bending, expansive, cosmic, all the things I dig. Yeah, Limelight in the late 60s was undergoing a sort of sea change of like really focusing on cutting-edge music. And so all the records released at that time, 67 to 69, including this one, very way ahead of their time, interesting, not necessarily cheap, but you know, I feel like these are the kind of records you could find out there. So this is one that Chris recommended to me, and I bought. And there's another one that is one of the first ones I grabbed that he recommended to me, and I played this in the record store when I got it. Sometimes I have records shipped to the store, and I think this one I did. And at one point, not the customers were like, what the hell is this? I have no interest. Make it stop, or just I'm going to walk out the door. Now, it's not really that extreme or anything, but in any case, the employees and the staff were like, what do you got here? You're like, almost like, getting a little touchy-feely with it. The Gravity Adjusters band, Hole in the Sky. I think I did show this. This is sort of a post-classical, post-modern, modern classical, whatever you want to call it. But not like over the top, harsh or anything like that. It has it's I wouldn't say electroacoustic, but I would say it's just a very, free record. A lot of instrumentation to it. You have like 6 to 8 players here, percussion. There's percussion on here. Multiple instruments here. You can see what's going on here. They're using sort of exploratory instruments. Beautiful. I think there's another record. I don't have it. This wasn't too much. This was like $30. I have a feeling that I found a good copy, probably because of Chris, if I remember correctly. Formed in '67, Gravity Adjusters, an experimental art music ensemble featuring new musical inventions, non-conventional instruments, and sonic sculptures. These instruments and players have appeared on many soundtracks, radio shows, and recordings. They go through sort of the CV of each player. Recorded live, no overdubbing or multi-tracking. The year is 1981 on Nocturne, a private release. Chris Cole, thank you. Thank you for just being a good dude and thinking of me with recommendations and whatnot. Thank you. And last, this is probably not what you'd think I would show from this VCer, but it's one I wrote down or put on my want list and said I'm going to have to get this at some point. It's a box set, and it was shown in a video by a Digital Gramophone, John. It's one of the last box sets I got. I got this a couple months back now, and it is the Popova Essential Collection. There's a part 2 of this. I think it just came out. This part 1 came out in 2019, and I had it in the back of my head to look for, and I ended up, I forget one day why I looked, but I just searched, and there was a European store selling it for really a fair price with I think it was free shipping somehow. I don't know how, but it was like it seems like they just had copies, like they just didn't sell them, or they made too many. So only have, no, incorrect. The only record I had from this was, that's not in this, it's in the second collection, is Agira. All these other records I had in my want list. So I'm like, you know what? The box set makes sense. We have Afstunde, Hosiana Mantra, Einsjager, and Siebenjager. Agir. Okay, right, Agir's in here. It's right in front of my face. What am I talking about? So I do have 2 Agirs, technically, and Nosferatu. And it's a beautiful collection. Not a ton of liner notes to it, but it's fine. It is a box set. I should take these out of the box and put them on the shelf. But John Digital Gramophone, thank you. And his top 200 list is there's a bunch in there that we share common ground with, and a lot of things that I don't know that I've learned from and want to check out. And he's really influenced my upcoming top 100 psychedelia list that I will be trotting out pretty soon. So, great channel, John. Always appreciate everything you show. Appreciate you. Thank you. And I should start listening to this box set, I guess. Alright. I might do a part 2 with more of you. I don't know. We'll see. I do have other things I want to get into. I'm hoping that me and Alex might be doing another DJ set coming up. And I didn't get to say at the top, but thank you to everyone who tuned into my 2-hour live stream last Saturday, in which I sold records directly through YouTube, and to help benefit my 2 needs. I still have stuff left. I'm putting on Instagram now. And I decided my deadline will be Thanksgiving, and then at that point I will put those all up for Discogs on my Discogs page, which I'll link to at whatever point that is. So for right now, if you want to check out any of those records that you were missed, I did take down the live stream, but you feel free to ask, or check out my Instagram handle, Seeking a Thread, which I'll link to as well below. That's really it. Thank you, VC. 1 year in the VC for this guy, Seeking a Thread. Hopefully I keep going with it. I mean, I'm really enjoying it. You know, there's a lot of times there's negativity or people talk like this is not what it used to be, or it's not fun anymore, or they're not getting into it. And if people aren't into it, that's fine. If they don't like the videos anymore, that's fine. But I am finding a lot of positive things out of it. Yeah, it's been hard to like find time to do these videos recently, but I have been able to with my new job schedule. So I think the VC is great, and I think for now. And there's plenty of other channels I'm not even discussing or talking about that I follow and watch. So, and I'm sure there'll be many more great ones. So that's all, VC. Thanks. I'll talk with you when I talk with you, and hopefully be doing this for many more years to come, or at least another year. Who knows? See ya.